Back in the 80s, the buzzword was supercar. Ferrari, Jaguar and Lamborghini were all producing them, and limited editions like the F40 were providing big profits for those lucky enough to have their orders accepted. This is Porsche's supercar, the 959, a sort of 911 on steroids. It was offered to a select band of faithful Porsche buyers for £150,000 back in 1986. And they doubled their money the day the car was delivered. Only just over 200 of the 959s were built, but they weren't made just to please the fortunate few. The prime reason was to homologate the cars for racing and rallying. It was the ultimate Porsche, bristling with innovations. Twin turbos forced 450 horsepower out of the 2.85 litre engine. 0 to 60 took just 4 seconds, and the top speed was just under 200 miles an hour. There was a 6-speed gearbox, ABS and 4-wheel drive that had a computer-controlled torque split to suit varying conditions. Supercar meant super fast, and no production Porsche could get anywhere near the 959. But now, the new 911 Turbo does just that. For the first time, it's 4-wheel drive. For the first time, the 3.6 litre engine has twin turbos that give it 408 horsepower, 0 to 60 in just over 4 seconds, and a top speed of 180 miles an hour. As with the 959, there's a 6-speed gearbox and ABS, while the 911 has something the 959 hasn't, ABD, traction control. The 4-wheel drive torque split is now controlled by viscous differentials, but otherwise there is little to choose between the cars in terms of performance. In fact, while the 959 just wins the 0 to 60 and top speed contests, this new turbo has 8% more torque, making it a much more drivable car in everyday conditions. Clad with the new 911 look that arrived at the end of 1993, the Turbo is certainly much more elegant than its supercar brother. And at £92,000, it's a fair bit cheaper than the £250,000 plus that the 959s are currently valued at. Not only does it have the same smooth shape as the new Carreras, but it's got the same revised and much improved suspension. And, of course, being a turbo, it has to have a big wing. Now, this 959 is privately owned, and I'm not allowed to even scuff the rubber on its tyres. But with this 911 having all this 4-wheel drive technology added and its ABD traction gizmo, someone's got to put it to the test. Whoa! Right, the handling course. Feel that power coming. And the delivery of the power is just so smooth. There is no real sudden burst of boost, and that really is what is so impressive about this latest 911 twin turbo. Now, handling is so sure-footed over this crest in second gear, rev limiter third, back to second, but there's never any sudden change of understeer to oversteer. It's just mild understeer, very controllable. No nervous twitches as you come off and on the power, the weight transfer, it can handle that. And look at this change of direction at nearly 80 miles an hour with just no drama. Now, not only is this Porsche immensely powerful with that acceleration from 0 to 60 in about 4.5 seconds, but it's also got the most amazing brakes. So amazing that you can go from 0 to 60 and back to 0 in just over 7 seconds. Unbelievable. Spoilt with the luxury of the Millbrook Proving Grounds one-way road system and no speed limits, I could have thrashed around all day long, revelling in those amazing brakes, the poised, well-balanced handling, and the never-ending acceleration. The cornering ability is phenomenal. It's just grip, grip, grip. Even in everyday normal life, the turbo provides driver satisfaction, although you have to be prepared to feel every bump in the road through those ultra-low profile tyres. When you want to overtake, you can do it quickly and therefore safely. No lag, no sudden whoosh of power, just instant acceleration that's all part of a package that makes the 911 Turbo one of the most impressive production cars on the road today. True, the dashboard is the same as it's been for nearly 30 years, and it's still got Volkswagen pedals, but then it wouldn't be a 911 without them. To be honest, I'd hate to have £100,000 to spend on a car, because then I'd have to choose between this turbo and Ferrari's gorgeous 355. This Porsche probably is the better car for everyday use, and there is some room in the back for the kids. So the final choice would probably depend on whether you wanted to be practical or passionate.